The title of this story is Redemption. He hated what he had become. It wasn't at all true to his nature to spy on his babe, check her phone, asking her who she was speaking with on the phone, questioning her movement. How come you spent so long in the market? What manner of hair were you making that you spent the whole day at the hairdresser's? Who were you going out with? Ensure you return to this house latest by so and so time. When did he become an FBI agent? He loathed himself. What option did he have? He loved her. She was the center of his universe, and yet he was like Gomer. She was determined to be a whore. Perhaps it was a psychological problem or a genetic one, but it was way beyond abnormal. He had caught her cheating over 8 times. He ought to have dumped her, yes. But she was like water to his fish. Thoughts of a life without her petrified him. She was the very best. He didn't know what to do. How to help her? What was wrong with her? He met her at a party. One of such parties done in the dead of the night. The dead had been buried during the day. The friends and close relatives of the dead had gone home to sleep. One of the grandchildren of the dead arrived from the university. He came with over 40 babes from his school. They were not runs girls. They were just fine babes who came seeking adventure. He was a member of the local juju music band, a backing vocalist. When these ladies took over the dance floor, heaven and earth only thought of one thing. She stood out, his babe like the sun. She danced graciously, smiled warmly. He approached her as dawn arrived. She gave him her number. The following year, he moved to the city. He called her. They met and hit it off. He didn't know that she simply didn't know how to say no. He became boyfriend number 8. 2 married men were also on a separate list. As long as you were willing, she was game. One of her friends whom he got close to told him to walk away. That girl is not all right in her head. He heard the details but was not put off. He drew her closer, spoke kindly to her. She opened up eventually, told him about her past life, the series of abortions and escapades. Please, end it today. Please, stop this. There is always a season to hang your boots and say enough. Let today be that day. She believed him. She sent text messages to all her other guys. It is over. She blocked numbers, deleted numbers. She was determined to walk the straight path, guided by his love. But the flesh is weak. Once in a while she would slip. A phone call, an appointment, meet me here or there, something short and tidy. She wouldn't dare let him go. He was her beacon on the raging sea. He was patient and understanding, but he caught her again, and he took him off the cliff. He changed. He started monitoring her, barking orders, making her feel like a whore. His love began to grow thorns. She didn't want to be treated that way. She had a right to her own human dignity. It was his choice to stay. If he must, then he should stay the right way, not staying to torture her with his words and attitude. It had been 1 year since her last mess. He was not yet over it. His attitude was killing the relationship, choking her. Things had to change. He took her to his village, told her about the ritual they did for wives-to-be. If you cheat, you die. They did it. He changed, forgot about the past. It was love as it should be. He bought a ring. He was going to propose. How could he be sure that she was truly faithful? He got home and told her the truth. The ritual was a sham. I wanted you to see that you can be faithful if you decide to be. You have been faithful now for 3 years. I think you're ready to be a wife. She got offended. So you lied to me. All these times, it had been a lie. He understood why she was angry, but it was for her own good. He couldn't propose that night. He wanted her to calm down and think rationally. He waited until the weekend. He called her the following Saturday. A guy peeked. She was back in the mud. He gave up. She came around the next day, looking sober, expecting a tongue lash and a cuddle. He was fed up. He looked right at her, but he couldn't see her. The camel's back had been broken. He hugged her tight, wished her well, and walked away. She couldn't believe it. He wasn't going to forgive. He was walking away. She wanted to turn, beg, and say sorry. But her voice hung in her throat. Perhaps it was for the best. She needed to change. 1 year later, he was married. She cried and cried. Everybody shook their heads in pity for her. How else could she have expected to be shown love? If there was ever a thing called true love, it was what he had for her. She couldn't eat for many days. Her pillow soaked with tears. How many chances did she spurn? She deserved to be miserable. In the dead of the night, she turned to the one source we all turn to when we get in too deep. God, please save me, she lamented. That night as she slept, she saw herself seated at the feet of the Lord Jesus. Her legs were on his thigh and he was stroking her hair. He didn't say a word, he just petted her. When she woke up, she felt light. It was as if a gusher gushed out her shame and feelings of inadequacy. She took her bath and faced her life. For 3 years, she didn't have a relationship. She nevertheless had her own solid spring of joy. One day, a man walked up to her at her office. He needed help processing his postgraduate form. She helped him. He continued to call. 6 months later, he proposed. They have been married for 7 years with 1 child. She is pregnant with her second baby. The end. For more stories like this and information about the ministry, please visit www.Samuel-Wemimo.com. God bless you.